To go ahead and start, Jackie, or do you want me to wait a little bit for Patrick?
I think we'll go, and I guess we'll see what happens.
Okay. Call this meeting to order. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Beaumont, the 72nd club founded in the world. Our invocation today will be led by Nikisha Burns from Beaumont Area Public and Government of the Beaumont Area Public and Government Affairs Manager at ExxonMobil. And the pledges are going to be led by Virtue Alexander, Beauty Consultant Director, Mary Kay Cosmetics. Nikisha.
Hello, everyone. Excuse me, I'm riding to another meeting. If everyone would please bow their heads. Oh, most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you in the most humblest way that we know how. Lord, I ask that you would bless and keep everyone's family during this very difficult time as we recover or help our neighbors in Orange, Texas and Southwest Louisiana recover from Hurricane Laura. I ask that you just keep each and every person that's in attendance at this meeting and throughout the world safe from COVID. I ask that you touch everyone's family and keep them safe as well. Lord, I ask that you touch each and every Rotary member and remind each of us why we serve and to continue to do the great things within our community that will make an impact in the community. All of these things we ask in your name. Amen.
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 Please join me for the pledges. I pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
to the flag
of
the United States of
of America,
and
and
to
to
the
to the republic
for which it stands,
and
one
nation,
nation
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all. Honor the
honor
Texas
the
flag.
Texas flag,
I pledge allegiance
allegiance
to the
to Texas,
one
one state,
state
under God,
God, one indivisible.
indivisible.
Thank you, Nikisha and Virtue. Now we're going to move on to club business. District 5910 Disaster Relief, past president Vernon Pierce.
Okay, Patrick, did you join by chance during the pledge of the prayer? Patrick Leslie has been just talking to me and Becky Mason about what there are other opportunities for us to help our Southwest Louisiana friends. So he's a member of the Rotary Club of the Houston International Rotary Club, and he also serves as communication chair for Disaster USA, which is a section of Rotary. And that's where we have our disaster trailer. He says that there is a lot of help still needed. Of course, he said, a lot of people from Houston Rotary clubs are going over there. They're staying, spend the night, coming back to Vidor to spend the night. And I told him we would need that service. But if anybody would like to volunteer this weekend to help the Disaster USA, we have our trailer. I got to see if I can go, but our trailer is available to go. And sure, there'll be opportunities to use chainsaws and lots of tools, but he said that's all what we need. We need folks that can go by and pick up shingles out of someone's front yard or clear the path to down their driveway, not very heavy lifting. So they're looking for volunteers to do that. And he put a request out to our club, and that was going to be his in my point. So if folks would let me know if you can volunteer. I think Becky Mason put out a email on that subject too earlier this week. If you can volunteer, please let us know, and we'll put you on the list and get a team to go over there, even if it's 1 or 2 people, or if it's a team of 100 people. Well, any help would be grateful. And they're going to take care. All work will be outside. And with the COVID, some people may like to take their own cars just to be separated, and there'll be social distancing done to protect everybody. It works. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Vernon. Now to talk about our Global Grant Scholar, we have Rebecca Maxwell, the District Global Grant Scholar Chair.
Hello, everybody. Just a little update so everybody knows, in case you know of a student who's in their senior year of an undergraduate degree and may be interested in pursuing a master's degree or other type of graduate studies. The application deadline for our district is coming up September 30th, so the end of this month. And we're currently taking applications for students to start their study next fall 2021. They do have to be sponsored by our Beaumont or a local Rotary Club within our district. So if you know of a student who may be interested, please let me know, and I'd be happy to share that application. We currently have a scholar who is abroad, Sakura Fisher. She left in February, and she is sponsored by our very own Rotary Club. She grew up and came up through Rotary in the Rotaract Club here at Lamar University. She is now studying peace and conflict resolution at Korea University in South Korea. And again, she left in February. They have had a lot of precautions due to the pandemic, and she's had a very unique year because of that. But now I'll turn it over to Jackie, who's going to share a video that Sakura prepared for our club. We don't hear the sound right now, Jackie. While that's coming up, I will share with the group. Sakura just recently shared with me, so she was approved for a 2-year Rotary scholarship. So she'll be abroad for about 2 years. And in addition to our scholarship with Rotary, for her first semester at Korea University, she received such good grades that she actually got a university scholarship in Korea. So she'll actually have most of her tuition paid for with that scholarship. And so she's doing very well while abroad.
Hello everyone, my name is Sakura Fisher and I'm currently a Global Grant Scholar for District 5910, and I'm in Seoul, South Korea pursuing my Master of Arts degree at Korea University, and I'm studying international studies with a concentration in international peace and security. And I've been here for roughly 6 to 7 months now. And first, I want to send my condolences to anyone who's been impacted by the 2 hurricanes that came through Southeast Texas recently. And I'm also glad to hear that there was little damage sustained to the area. And coincidentally enough, there was actually a typhoon that came through Korea as well, around the same week. And luckily, I'm just happy that Seoul as well as my hometown were both safe during that time. And also, similar to America, the number of cases, the COVID-19 cases, have steadily been increasing in Seoul specifically. So there's been a citywide lockdown and mandatory social distancing. So as a result, my online classes, are going to resume online this semester as well. But I'm grateful because last semester I was able to maintain high grades despite the postponement of the semester and overall confusion of everything. And also I was able to enroll into my Korean language school during the summertime. So those 2 things have definitely kept me busy and made life a bit more stressful, and especially when moving into my new apartment. And not only because of the language barrier, but maybe just adjusting to life in Korea in general, especially during this unprecedented moment because of the COVID pandemic. But And because of that, I wasn't able to meet at all actually with the Rotary Club of Sehanyang, but I was fortunate enough to be able to be in contact with Mr. Yoon Sang-koo, and he is my immediate point of contact in Korea to the Sehanyang Club. So he invited me a lot to meet with his family and to have lunch with him, and he also introduced me to a Rotary Peace Fellow. She's from Korea, and she's planning to go to Bradford in England to study peace studies for her master's. And so it was good to be able to exchange information and contact information with her. And I believe this semester I'll be able to join the Rotaract Club, the Sehanyang Rotaract Club, because I was able to get in contact with the president. And hopefully I'll be able to attend the Rotary meetings since my time won't be conflicted anymore this semester with the meeting time for the Rotary Club. So overall, I'm very grateful for all of the stress with the academia and life in general, because I was able to develop meaningful friendships and connections with my colleagues at the university, which is surprising to me to be able to connect this well during this COVID pandemic. But I guess we're all experiencing the same struggles. And just being able to communicate with such diverse group of individuals from around the globe has been a really eye-opening experience. So I hope I'll be able to come back to the Beaumont Club to be able to express more about my feelings and about my experiences here in Seoul to you all. So I'm glad to be able to talk to you all now, and I hope you all have a great day. So I hope I'll be able to see everyone soon. Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name.
So good to see Sakura. Now, we want to thank Pat and Gary for heading up the Show Your Colors flag project. For Patriot Day, we had 32 Rotarians and friends help and put out 470 flags. So thank you to all who helped. Gary and Pat were telling me that a couple of our normal route runners have moved. And so if you have a pickup and a desire to get on a regular route, please talk to Pat and Gary and they will hook you up. Now I have John Lee, who's going to talk about our service project.
Right, on September 26th, Saturday, from 8 to 12, we're going to be doing a project with the group Sleep in Heavenly Peace. That group builds beds for kids that don't have any. We've done this before. We had about 15 people participate the last time, and it's an excellent project. We will build a lot of beds in a very short amount of time. They have it down to an art, and everybody has one job, and you do it over and over, and it's kind of an assembly line process, and we get them done very quickly. You'd be surprised how much you can get done in a short amount of time. So there is a sign up out there if you're interested in working on the project, and I'm sure it'll go out again with the Rotarygram on Monday. So just go ahead and get in there and sign up, and let's help these people out and get some kids off the floor and into a nice, comfortable bed. Thanks.
Thank you, John. And now for our fun and fellowship socials coming up next week, Deborah Drago.
Thank you, Madam President. Who is ready to kick COVID-19 to the curb? Well, I certainly am. Yes, absolutely. Saw a lot of hands there. Jackie was hoping I wasn't going to say an explicative, but I didn't. So join us for fun and fellowship with a social distancing twist next Thursday, September 24th. Small groups, big friends, and the great outdoors. Host Cindy Cherry and Joyce Hafford will be on the patio at Jason's Deli on Dallin at 11 a.m. Host Ellen Zimmerman and Ty Kudrain will be outside at the Wheelhouse at 4 p.m. And Sherry Pierce and myself will be on the patio at Mellow Mushroom at 5:30 p.m. So gone are the days that you can just show up. Seating is limited, so you must sign up via the Sign Up Genius that Jackie has created and sent out. to let one of us know that we can expect you. So we're looking forward to seeing you in person next week.
Thank you, Deborah. For disaster relief work, I want to thank those who are still helping out at the Salvation Army, and thank you to all those people who donated goods and money to take to Louisiana and the Lake Charles Club. Pat, Gary, and Chris Ayers took 2 trucks and a whole lot of stuff over there yesterday, and thank you, Pat, for sharing some of the experiences you had with that earlier and before we started the meeting. And now, on with the show. Let me introduce Doug Fair, Executive Director of the Symphony of Southeast Texas, to introduce our speaker.
Cindy, thank you very, very much. And hello, fellow Rotarians. It's my pleasure to introduce Symphony of Southeast Texas Music Director, Rotarian, Chelsea Tipton this afternoon. Chelsea really needs no introduction, as symphony fans of all ages have been enjoying his talents and humor for the past 11 years. Yet, some introduction to what the symphony has in store for you does need some explanation. By now, everyone's been compromised by COVID-19, interrupting our meetings, our entertainment, even the quality of Rotary lunches. In all sincerity, we have to take extra precautions to make sure our audiences and musicians are all safe alike. What's more, our city leaders have taken extra precautions on closing performance venues like the Julie Rogers. So without a hall in which to rehearse or perform, we are exercising those creative ideas that Chelsea and I learned years ago in music school. Your SOST will be coming to you in the comfort of your home via YouTube. Wait, Chelsea, YouTube wasn't invented, nor was the internet invented when we were in college. Okay, so through the magic of the same technology which we come to you today, we'll be sending a special link to our loyal subscribers to enjoy in their home on their computer, smartphones, or smart TV. This link will magically bring Chelsea Tipton and your SOST to you. So today, Chelsea will be introducing a revised season of music that is, as we call, COVID-friendly. So without any further delay, please welcome our fellow Rotarian, salient music director, and I always have to put this in, my old student, Chelsea Tipton.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to be here with you, and we do have an exciting season. It's a very different type of season, as Doug alluded to. From an artistic point of view, the main thing that we're doing is we're really ramping up the season. Typically, when we kick off our season, we have a big program, lots of musicians on stage, big artists coming in to join us to start the season off. And we aren't able to do that quite this year. So we're starting with a very small chamber orchestra for our first concert, which will be this coming Saturday. Now, in the first half of the season, one of the main differences will be there'll be no intermission for our concert. So it'll be about 60 minutes, 65 minutes of music, no intermission. And we just thought that might be a little bit easier for the audience as we get things ramped up. So this concert that we're going to be performing on this coming Saturday has just 3 pieces: the Bach-Brandenburg Concerto No. 3, the Grieg Holberg Suite. Now those first 2 pieces, they are written for just strings. And then the last piece on the program is the Dvorak Wind Serenade. And it says the Wind Serenade, however, there's a cello and a bass in there. So it's not completely a Wind Serenade, but it's close enough to call it a Wind Serenade by Antonin Dvorak. So at no point during the course of the concert will there be any more than 20 musicians on stage. This will be streamed and there won't be any audience. And we thought, since the halls aren't open, this was a means for us to get the music out there. So let me bring up my screen here and get this going. Okay. The magic of technology, and it's working today, so we're always very happy. Okay, so we have our concert coming up this coming Saturday. It'll be live streamed, and those are the three pieces: the Bach-Brandenburg, the Grieg Holberg Suite, and the Dvorak Wind Serenade. And I thought what would be interesting as we move through the program is to play a little excerpt from each concert. So I'm going to focus on the classic series. This is just a little bit of the Dvorak Wind Serenade.
Chelsea, honey,
Yes.
Chelsea, we're not hearing the music. If you go back to the share the screen,
Okay.
when you pull that up, down at the bottom left, there's a little block that needs to be clicked.
Okay.
See it on the white part, share computer sound.
Okay. Let's see here. I don't see.
No, not on that, on the share the screen at the bottom of the Zoom.
Okay. Bottom of the screen.
Pull
Share
up
the screen.
Hit share your screen.
Okay. And share computer sound.
Yes, sir.
Got it. All right.
Then you're good to go. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Not a problem. Let's see if this will work. All right. Things were going so well.
Go back to slideshow.
There we go. Slideshow. Okay. And we're back to that. And can y'all hear this? Good.
Somebody else respond. I'm still not hearing it.
No, we're not hearing
No?
it.
Can you hear it, Chelsea?
I can hear it, yeah.
This didn't happen in our dress rehearsal, did it?
It did
No.
not. Okay. So you can see the screen.
Is sound diverting to your Bluetooth?
Oh, maybe it's the Bluetooth. Let me try that. That might be the problem. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if this comes through. You hear
Yes.
that?
Turn up the volume a little bit.
Okay, I think that was the issue. All right.
Well, we're still not getting it real good, Chelsea.
Okay. So can y'all hear me now?
No.
We hear you.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Let's see. Can you all hear me now?
We hear you.
Okay. All right. Let me try this one more time. And I want to see if. You hear music? And you can hear me now too,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, I'm gonna move right through.
Chelsea, just to interrupt you a second, this is Chuck Mason. Are you
Yes.
going to grow your hair out so you'll look like a real conductor?
I was thinking about that. If I had longer hair, I think I'd be a more famous conductor. But he's doing pretty good, so I'm working on it.
Very good.
So if we continue on our classic series, we have November 21st, we have Juan Nicola Concerto for Guitar, and it's entitled In the Mariola Mountains. Now, what's interesting about this concert is oftentimes we want to say, I want to ask Mr. Bach or Mr. Mozart, or Mr. Beethoven, what were you thinking when you were composing this particular piece? The great thing about this is this piece, this concerto for guitar, is written by our soloist, who's going to be coming to play the guitar with us. And he was brought to our attention by Henry Venta here in our community. He's a professor of revenue management at Virginia Tech College in Blacksburg. And he's going to be coming and playing his guitar. He's also a world-class guitarist. This composition won the gold medal in the Global Music Awards in California. And he's played it a number of times, and we're happy to have him aboard. But it's also great to have not only the soloist here, but also the composer. Also in that program will be more Dvorak, the Dvorak Symphony No. 7. Here's just a little bit of the guitar concerto. And that is Juan Nicola playing as a soloist. So Juan was in town. I believe he was at a conference with Henry Venta, and that's how they got to know each other. And Henry brought him to our attention. So we're looking forward to welcoming him for our series, November 21st. Our third classic series, American Musical Soundscapes. We have four composers here. Johann Strauss II, the Greetings to America. Now, Strauss was visiting the United States in 1872. He did some conducting in both Boston and New York, and as a result, he decided that he wanted to write a piece kind of commemorating his time here in the United States. So it's a wonderful piece to open the concert. Then we have the Copland Appalachian Spring by Aaron Copland, one of the great 20th century composers, who was also responsible for creating an American sound of music. Now this piece, the Appalachian Spring, won the Pulitzer Prize in 1945, and it's probably one of the quintessential American pieces that was composed during this period. Igor Stravinsky's The Dumbarton Oaks. Now you think, Stravinsky, Russian composer, what does he have to do with America? Well, he became an American citizen in 1945 and lived the rest of his life till 1971, passed away in New York City, lived a long time in Los Angeles, and was very much involved in the American music scene, working for also Boosey and Hawkes, the publisher. Closing our concert is this fabulous piece by George Gershwin that you may have heard before. We have Gabriela Martinez, who is a Van Cliburn, one of the Van Cliburn winners. She earned her bachelor's and master's from Juilliard School of Music, and she's played in a number of competitions and played all around the world. She's going to be joining us for this little tune that the Symphony of Southeast Texas has never performed before. I couldn't believe it. You'll recognize it. Here it is. So you may have heard that in the United Airlines commercials. Really super wonderful piece, which I was surprised that we've not done before here with the Symphony of Southeast Texas. That's the Gershwin Rhapsody in Blue. And then we'll close out our season actually in the way that we had hoped we might start the season. We were going to start the season with the Sibelius Finlandia and the Saint-Saëns Symphony No. 3 in C minor called the Organ Symphony. But because of the COVID, we decided to take that program and move it to the end of the season. We were going to have also a choir on our final concert of the season, but we decided to not have that this year, move that to the following season. So we're going to close out our classical season on April 10th, 2021 with the Sibelius and the Poulenc Organ Concerto featuring Dr. Katya McMahon, who lives here in the community here. And the thing that's neat about the Poulenc and the Saint-Saëns, they're both French composers, but they sound completely different. One of the instruments you don't often hear in the orchestra is the organ. And for the Saint-Saëns Symphony No. 3, the organ is not a soloist, but is a featured instrument. Here's a little bit of the last movement of the Saint-Saëns Symphony No. 3. And notice the conductor's hair. He's very good, but notice his hair. It is a wonderful and powerful piece by Saint-Saëns. And you're saying to yourself, well, we don't have an organ in the Julie Rogers Theater. What we'll have to do, what we'll be doing is renting an organ in order for that concert to happen. So since we're renting an organ, we thought also to feature the organ on the Poulenc Organ Concerto. So that's the classical side of things. We have two Pops concerts. Our first Pops concert, which will take place October 24th, we'll be bringing back Cirque de la Symphony. Now, they were here several years ago, and they're bringing back their holiday concert. So there'll be aerial flyers, there'll be acrobats, there'll be jugglers, there'll be strongmen, and they'll all be accompanied by the members of, that is, the music of the Symphony of Southeast Texas. So for that concert, you'll have not only great classical music, but you'll also have great visuals in front of the orchestra. Now, that concert, as I mentioned, is October 24th, and that will also be done without intermission. Our second Pops concert is the Broadway Divas, March 27th. Now, at this point, March 27th, 2021, we'll be getting more into our normal concerts and the way that we have with an intermission, hopefully by that time. But we have two wonderful singers who are going to be joining us, Ali Mozzie and Julia Murney. They're both have been singers on Broadway. I've worked with them. They'll be doing the music of Wicked, Les Miserables, Phantom of the Opera, Chicago, A Funny Girl. And if we can, we're hoping to have maybe one of our local high school choirs to join us on that program as well. We always like to figure out ways we can include the community. Here's just a little bit of music from Wicked.
Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instinct. Close my eyes and leave. It's time to try to find gravity. Kiss me goodbye. Time to find gravity. I think I will try to find gravity. And you can't pull me down. I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I can't.
This is a really fun program where we have just a wonderful collection of the music of Broadway. They're wonderful to work with, and they're great at getting the audience involved into the concert. Now, one last concert that I just wanted to talk about is our home for the, well, what's typically been our home for the holidays concert, which is December 6th, Sunday, December 6th at 7:30. We'll be bringing back the Texas Tenors. They are Emmy Award winning Billboard #1 recording artists. They have just a wonderful different types of shows. And so you'll be hearing things such as Oh Holy Night, Joy to the World. And of course, the Righteous Brothers, You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling. But it's just a wonderful collection. And it's a great way to bring your family out to get into the mood of the holiday spirit. Here's just a little bit of the Texas Tenors.
Our tree at night shines bold and bright, deep in the heart of Christmas. The northern star shines from afar, deep in the heart of Christmas. The kid is soon to the living room, deep in the heart of Christmas. Reminds me of the friends I love, deep in the heart of Christmas.
So as you can see, we have a variety of concerts, and the general direction of the season will be, we start with a very small contingent of a chamber orchestra this coming Saturday. Then as we move from concert to concert, the number of musicians on stage grows with each progressive program. Many orchestras are waiting until January to start their seasons. Some are going to start their seasons at all, Nashville Symphony. But we're really trying to figure out ways we can keep a presence and the arts going. In closing, one of the things that I've often said and feel about the orchestra is that the arts in general have been something that has survived pandemics in the past. It's survived world wars. It's survived civil unrest. It's survived many, many tragedies. And the arts are so important for our community. And we will survive this, and we will figure out a way to get through this very difficult period. We ask for your support. We ask that you not only support us, but also talk about us. Talk about what a great orchestra we have. Doug, we've been here, is it our 68th season?
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're approaching 70.
We're
and we're not going to retire at that point, you know.
That's right. So this says a lot about not only what a great orchestra we have, but also what a great community we have that has supported an orchestra for the 68 years. And it's been a real pleasure and a real joy for me to work with this orchestra and to get to know the community, as well as to work with the team that we have working so hard with the Symphony of Southeast Texas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chelsea. And we have time for a few questions, and I'd like to start off with one. Do you have to be a season ticket holder to see the YouTube, or can you buy a ticket for the first one y'all are going to do on YouTube?
Cindy, you can go to our website, and we're asking for a general donation. I believe it's $25. And if you do this by Saturday, we will send you that link. We're not making it public because we really do want to honor our season ticket holders, as they've been the prime people who have helped us go along. But you can do that. A link will be sent out for Saturday around 5 o'clock when it's available.
Okay.
And Doug, that contribution is a discretionary amount, right? It could be
Absolutely.
a whole lot more than 25 if you care.
Absolutely, especially if you're going to have a party. I mean, think of this. You can have free entertainment, well, kind of free, for a dinner party at your home with the symphony playing as your host of the evening. So we're trying to make this as fun and as entertaining as we possibly can.
And I'll also say that concert is going to be coming from where the Beaumont Community Players has their home, the Betty Greenberg Center. So we appreciate them letting us come and make the recording and to rehearse there. And it's important for all the arts organizations to come together and to work with one another. So we appreciate them letting us come into their home.
Okay, any other questions? We have a little bit of time. I know it's been a challenge for everyone with the COVID. We always appreciate your enthusiasm, Chelsea and Doug. And your love of music always comes through. Anytime you speak about it and you just go through all those names that I would have a horrible time pronouncing and make it look so easy, and you just take me right back to high school band playing the clarinet. It's always such a fun time, and I just thank you so much for speaking to our club today and sharing your love of music and your enthusiasm. And in your honor, we will make a donation to Rotary International, and it will benefit one of the 7 areas of focus that Rotary works with. Our next speaker is going to be a panel of Jason Moore with the Salvation Army, Paula O'Neill with Some Other Place, and Carolyn Fernandez with Catholic Charities. And they're going to tell us how running a nonprofit during COVID and natural disasters like hurricanes bring along some challenges and also some new ideas of how to make things work. Some reminders: if you're wishing to make a monetary donation as part of our club donation to the Lake Charles Recovery, Jackie needs that by this Friday. Remember the huge Houston International Club that Vernon talked about. If you want to volunteer this weekend with them in the Lake Charles area. And another one of our fellow Rotary clubs, the Vital Rotary Club, is collecting non-perishable food items that they're trying to supplement with the food bank being shut down for a little bit here. Those donations are due this Friday by 5 o'clock, and if you have any of them, you can contact Jay Wilson, and he will direct you to the nearest box that you can unload your donations for that. So in closing, I want to thank everybody for attending the meeting today. We're going to bow out with the 4-way test of the things that we think, say, or do. So first, is it true? Second, is it
Fair to all concerned.
Third, will it build
Relationships to all concerned.
And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Have a good week and go out and find opportunities to lead and to serve. Thank you all for attending today.
Thank you. Great meeting.
See you later. Well, I put my, what I was trying to do was,
Okay, Jackie.
Okay.
I will see you later. Becky texted me, I didn't know you played the clarinet. I did too. I didn't play it like that guy played it in the video. I can tell you that for sure.
I hate we had some little musical technical issues.
Oh, we figured it out though. I mean, everybody's so understanding with, you just never know what's going to happen when you're on the Zoom meeting.
We practiced it yesterday. We didn't have that, but today I guess some of it gets to be with so many people on and sharing the same bandwidth or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to go to book club.
There you go. We'll see you.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Huh?
Bye, everyone.
Bye.